Alright, welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing Transmission. This is your host, Mr.BDA, and I just want to talk about this Saturday's fight, junior featherweight fight between Jessie Magdaleno and Isaac Dogboe. It's going to be a pretty interesting fight, let me tell you that much right now. I've been keeping my eye on Dogboe and on Magdaleno for quite some time now, and I'm rather surprised that they're going to be fighting. It's interesting how things work out in boxing. Cesar Juarez, the very tough Juarez, who is never an easy fight for anybody, was supposed to fight Magdaleno. And then something happened which the fight fell off. I think Magdaleno got injured or something, so Juarez decided to go to Ghana and take on the undefeated 2012 Olympian Dogboe, who is a power puncher, by the way. And Dogboe took him out, beat him at his own game. And so now we get Dogboe versus Magdaleno, which in my eyes is a much better fight. No offense to Juarez, but I think Dogboe is just more skilled, sharper puncher, more explosive. And man, this is going to be classic boxer versus puncher, although there are certain variables that make it different from the standard boxer versus puncher style or formula. Magdaleno is a very fast guy. Very fast, quick. He moves, counters with precision. You saw it how he did it against Nonito Donaire on the undercard of Pacquiao Vargas. Dogboe, for his part, he stands like a boxer. You know, he fights with that left hand down. You think he's going to be up and around on his toes moving, but instead he stands in front of you, maybe just takes, tiny little steps back and counters, but for the most part he can fight on the inside or he can fight at mid-range. But he's not going to be moving around the ring. Or at least not against Magdaleno, based on the fights that I've seen from Dogboe. Now, I mean, at this point it's an interesting mashup of styles because Magdaleno took on Nonito Donaire, who is a murderous puncher with his left hook. But of course, as you saw this past Saturday, Donaire lost to Cole Frampton. He's not quite up there with the elite anymore. So where does that leave Magdaleno? There's still some unanswered questions there. He's never fought a puncher like Dogboe. He was supposed to, like I said, take on Cesar Juarez. And that would have been perfect preparation for a guy like Dogboe. But now he's got to take on Dogboe right away. Dogboe, for his part, has never fought anybody as quick or as talented as Magdaleno. So it's going to be an interesting matchup of styles here. Can Dogboe cut off the ring? Can he get to Magdaleno? Can he surmount the fear that usually comes when somebody fights a guy as quick as Magdaleno? Can he walk through those quick counters, stay composed, and dig to the body, dig upstairs? That's the thing I like about Dogboe also, by the way. He feints, he goes to the body, he does a lot of things pretty well. Very well. Magdaleno, for his part, like I said, very quick on the trigger. Can he handle the pressure that Dogboe is going to bring? Can he handle the body shots? It's going to be very interesting. Now, another element or dimension to this promotion is that Paul Dogboe, I think that's his name, it's Paul, or let me check it out here real quick, Dogboe's trainer and father, Paul Dogboe, that's right. He made some comments prior to the fight a couple of weeks ago that he was gonna, his fighter, Dogboe, was gonna show up to the fight, he was gonna beat Magdaleno, and then he was gonna throw him over the border because Magdaleno is of Mexican descent. I don't know if he's Mexican or if he's Mexican-American, but of course the point was made by Dogboe's trainer. They were gonna throw him over the border and then they were gonna present the belt to Donald Trump. Now, Magdaleno and some people made a big fuss about it. They said it was racist and they started attacking Dogboe about it. Let me tell you something, as a Mexican, I didn't find it offensive. It's trash talking, it's boxing. Look, this isn't baseball, this isn't football, this isn't hockey, this isn't soccer. They're not going in there to play a sport and score some points. Yes, boxing is not a real fight. You can't kick, you can't elbow, you can't gouge out the eyes, you can't hit in the throat, you know what I'm saying? But it's a fight for all intents and purposes. It's people punching each other over the head, and there's a real risk of long-term injury, lethal injury or death. They're going in there to fight people. So you don't think they're gonna be amped up a little bit and say stupid things or say things to promote that? I think that's the feeling I'm getting. I've been watching some interviews with Paul Moses from other fights, and he's a braggadocious guy. He likes to stir up the pot with controversial statements and denigrating fighters. You might not like it, but variety is the spice of life. And if there weren't any trash talkers in the game, then boxing would be pretty boring. I mean, yes, we're all watching it for the boxing, not for the talking, but the talking adds a dash of the mysterious, of showmanship, which makes fights a little bit more enjoyable. And so I don't really see. And by the way, Magdaleno, he has a right to be offended if he wants to. You know, saying, oh, that what he said was racist. My feelings are hurt because he said something racist. Well, guess what? You can beat him up in the ring. That's the fun part about boxing, is your opponent can talk as much trash as he wants. But deep down, at the end of the day, you gotta face it in the ring. You gotta settle it in the ring. And that's where the truth comes out. So, I mean, this fight has a little bit of everything for everybody. The classic boxer versus puncher, speed versus power, two top, undefeated, super bantamweights, trying to move on to bigger and better things, trash talking, a bit of real, you know, anger in there. And by the way, Paul Moses, the father, he, you know, because there was a lot of backlash against him for his comments. He said, well, listen, I didn't mean anything offensive by it. He said, you know, I'm just looking for a good fight, and I urge Magdaleno's fans to come and see their fighter get beat. So it was a bit of a non-apology from his part. He's still not willing to fully apologize. So that's still, you know, it's going to provoke Magdaleno a little bit. Now, that's an interesting point that I just realized. Was this comment designed to get Magdaleno to come out of his shell? Because they know, you know, Magdaleno doesn't fight any other way. He's going to stick and move. He's going to try to counter. So is this a move to try to get him to stand and fight? In other words, fight Dogboe's fight? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. You guys tell us. Are you looking forward to this fight? Is this the fight that you're looking forward to the most over Jacobs and Sulecki? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to be talking more about this fight over at BDA Live during a live podcast this Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even Thursday or Friday, and of course definitely on Saturday. So don't forget to join BDA Live. Like I said, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one, folks. Take care.